Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm going to be live trading in this video and just talking about how you can actually make money in the trenches trading in 2025 because a lot has changed since, I started this channel a few months ago. Look, the first thing that you need to deeply understand is that the money isn't made on these low cap shitters in 99% of instances. You really need to develop an eye for what people buy, and you're not going to do that by just aping into random tokens 24 hours a day like a lot of these other channels on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever else are going to be telling you. And especially on crypto Twitter. Everybody on crypto Twitter wants you to believe that, you can just buy a token and you're just going to become rich overnight by trading these low cap coins, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. And just because I'm trading these low caps right now doesn't mean that I recommend that you guys do it. I've been trading for a lot longer. I think that I have a pretty good eye as to what people like to buy. And, to each their own, right? If you guys really want to be making money in the trenches, you need to have your own strategy. You need to have your own mindset going into this. And, what I do is going to be a lot different than what you guys do because I've just been in here longer. So look, if you guys really want to be making money in the meme coin trenches, you need to be looking on Deck Screener, in my opinion, to find what is actually hot at the moment. That is kind of step one. What I've always said on this channel and what I stand by is that the money is really made on these higher cap tokens because you can really buy them with size, meaning you can spend a lot more money comfortably and not have as much of a risk on your plate in terms of will this token go to zero in the next 20 minutes to an hour to 24 hours. So there's really a lot more comfortability that you can find in these higher cap tokens. Instead of getting a 2x on a $20 play, you can get, a 20% gain on a $1,000 play, and you can do the math on that. If you've been consistently watching my channel for the past few months, you've definitely heard me say that I think the best strategy for new meme coin buyers is to find proven tokens that have, a little bit of history and to buy the dips on those tokens. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that with a few examples right now. One of the best examples of great opportunities in the meme coin space would have been something like buying the dip on Fartcoin. I mean, it went down to 250 million. It's back up over $1 billion now. The thing is worth $1.11. And the mindshare really never left this token. It was talked about on CNBC. It was mainstream as it gets for meme coins, and it generally had a very good narrative. Another great example is Bonk, which if you go back and look at some of my previous videos, I made multiple tutorials about the Bonk ecosystem and basically used them as a guide throughout my channel for months. And I mean, basically, if you bought any of these dips on these proven tokens in the past 2 months, you would be up drastically right now. And although it's very fun and it's, can be extremely lucrative to be bidding on these lower cap tokens like I'm doing right now, it's a lot harder to do because they're way too volatile. And you have to be paying attention and you have to be hyper active all day long if you want to be catching the right coins. So again, a lot of this comes down to your specific strategy. Like if you have the time to be scouring new launches all day long, then you probably will do pretty well on them once you develop a bit of an eye for it. But if you don't have that time, to be spending looking at tokens all day long, taking small losses here and there, then your best bet is going to be on these older proven tokens. And I've said this time and time again on this channel. And look, the exact same thing can be said about majors, right? Like Solana. A lot of you guys buy Solana up when it's at $250, and then you sell Solana when it's at $100. It makes no sense. You need to train yourself to be buying coins when nobody else is and selling coins when everyone thinks they're going to go to Pluto. As a beginner, honestly, some good advice for you would be to do the polar opposite of whatever your mind is telling you for now, because you simply just haven't been in the markets enough to really experience and know what the best path forward is, and that is going to lead you to make big mistakes. And I mean, a perfect example is a couple months ago around January. Everybody thought Solana was going to break new all-time highs. I mean, it did, but everybody thought Solana was going to go to $500, and then just look at the candle and look at the chart. And then down here at 100, I mean, it got down to basically $90 at one point. Nobody was buying it, and nobody was paying attention to it, and everybody gave up on the trenches. Nobody wanted to buy meme coins. And now look, it's a 50% increase in a matter of 3 weeks. And the exact same things can be said about meme coins. As you can see, look, it looks like nobody is buying this meme coin right now. I am going to buy it. And look, everybody was buying it up here. That's when I'm selling it, right? You can apply the same principles to different segments of the market if you just have the patience and discipline to do so. You need to remind yourself that, like, if you are buying meme coins, that these things are meme coins, okay? They aren't real financial assets that have any intrinsic value. So in 9 times out of 10, they will eventually go to zero within the first 24 hours. That is why, as a beginner, you should not be gambling on these new launches. Also, another thing that I want you guys to understand is that you should not be copy trading big KOLs. Period. Full stop. The only reason that I have these wallets is to avoid all of these tokens that they're buying. I want you guys to look at this amount here of Solana in every scenario, basically. These people, they buy a token and then a minute later they sell a token. Sometimes they profit, sometimes they lose. But they are farming all of you who are copying their trades. A lot of you guys fully haven't understood that this is quite literally how most of these wallets make their money. They make their money by trying to get people to FOMO into tokens so that they can sell a lot of the supply of the token and basically ruin the token's potential all in one click, essentially. That is how they are making money. The real way that these guys make a lot of money is by putting 100K into some of these proven tokens that I've been telling you about and getting a 2x. That is what these guys really are looking for, and that is what I am looking for as well. These guys that I'm tracking here on my list, these people do not give a fuck about 2 to 5 Solana. 2 to 5 Solana to them is basically like toilet paper. They wipe their ass with it. They do not care about 2 to 5 Solana. So if you think that they are grinding all day to get small 2 to 5 Solana wins, you are absolutely crazy. That does absolutely nothing for these people. They have thousands of Solana. So like I said, what they are really doing is trying to get you, here's a perfect example going on in real time. They are trying to get you to buy this token right now so that they can just sell it and make a quick 2x on like $1,000 just to keep stacking up their portfolio in small quantities, right? And then what they really do with all of this money that they take from your wallets is they dump them into these bigger coins here, things like Hasako here, and they make huge amounts of money on small 20, 40, 50, maybe 100% gains. Right now, this guy just dumped 3K into this token. He owns 17% of the token supply. When everyone else starts buying this token, he's going to sell and it's going to go to zero in one candle. And you're going to see it. It's going to happen here any second. So if you guys seriously want to make money with meme coins in 2025, I don't recommend you do it in the new launch section, right? There are too many people who have a lot more experience than you do. There are too many people who want to take your money. And there are too many people who literally set you up to fail. And that is why you should find, proven larger market cap tokens to actually ape into and look for smaller gains, because that is how you can actually build consistent wealth. For example, this is probably a better buying opportunity than anything that you'll find on the new launch section in AXIOM or whatever your trading platform is, simply because there is a lot better chance that this won't continue dipping rather than something like this, where this guy now owns 23% of the token supply. He has 5K invested in the token, and with one click of a button, this thing is going to go to zero. Okay, this took a little bit longer than I was expecting it to, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? This is why you shouldn't be trading the new launches if you are a beginner meme coin trader. And just keep in mind, this token is only 7 minutes old. This happened in 7 minutes, okay? So again, I'm not going to harp on it, but just be smart. If you are currently getting rinsed on new launches, and by rinsed, I mean you are getting, fucked on new launches, you should probably reduce the amount of new launches that you are buying by literally 99%, okay? That is step one for you. The only new launches that you should be comfortable buying are something that you genuinely think can last for at least 24 hours, and that is the absolute bare minimum question that you need to answer before you consider buying any new launch. If you are a beginner, that is the absolute basic question that you need to answer. And if you're a little bit more experienced, then obviously you can kind of trade your own way, and if you found success, keep doing what you're doing. But if you are a beginner, stop buying new launches until you have actually found success trading on these higher market cap tokens. You literally should not even have an AXIOM account. And at this point in the video, you're probably wondering, how do I know which tokens are going to last for 24 hours? The honest answer is you really don't, but that is why you need to understand what has previously worked and what has lasted for a long period of time so that you can make educated guesses as to what could potentially blow up over the next, weeks, months, years, etc. Because the more time you spend in this crazy, hectic space, the more things start to make sense. As crazy as that might sound, you start to see patterns in certain tokens and certain narratives and certain things that people want to be purchasing. And this is how you start to develop this eye that I was mentioning at the beginning of the video, right? You start to understand what has worked in these previous tokens, and then you try to apply that to these newer launches, okay? That is how you are going to find success in the meme coin space in general, but especially on the newer launches. You need to understand what works if you want to be doing well on the new launches. So to summarize what we've talked about in this video, if you are a beginner, you should be trying to find success in these quote unquote proven tokens. And you need to deeply understand what makes these tokens successful and what makes them stick around for longer than 24 hours. Once you understand that, you can start to apply those concepts to these newer launches, but you should not be trying to hit home runs on these newer launches until you can consistently find success on these older tokens. And once you start to find success in these older tokens, that is really when it makes it a lot easier for you to care a lot less about the outcomes of these newer launches and give you the real potential to hit massive home runs, 100x's on these newer launches. But you cannot do that until you understand what really is working. And it is very difficult to do that in this space unless you are surrounding yourself with people who actually know what to buy and are making the right educated guesses. And that is why I built my Discord community and made it completely free for beginners to join. So if you are curious about what actually works in this space, joining a community like this is going to really help you out. So if you want to join, my link is in my channel bio. Feel free to join. It's 100% free and it always will be. But that is all I got for the video for today, everybody. I wanted to keep things short and sweet. So I hope you guys learned something and I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I will be back later this week with another